Hey, it's another Mike and Mike Off-Air podcast. Your friend from the new My 97.5, Mike O'Neill in afternoons, and
Mike Pesto from mornings. And, of course, hello to everyone watching on YouTube. Appreciate it. Like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. We have a YouTube channel for a reason, so
Yes.
Enjoy what we have there. And, as we're talking right now, it's July 2nd. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow night, July 3rd, the Independence Spectacular. Hopefully, on that YouTube channel, we'll post some video of what we're able to get as well. And we'll get some pictures up on our website as well.
of the coolest drone show in the area. It's going to be absolutely incredible, right?
I am hoping. Have you ever seen one, by the way?
Not in person, although I'm an AGT fan, America's Got Talent, and they actually did a gymorphic, and I mean crazy, hundreds of drones show outside their parking lot. And I got an idea what this is about, how they can computer control the flight of the drones, the light array, and actually, to give you an example, all of a sudden the lights lit up and it looked like a missile at a gantry.
Yeah.
And the missile took off. Very cool. I want to see what these guys have to bring. It'll be smaller scale, but something like that, and I'm ready.
If you want to see what it looks like, there is video up online at my975fm.com. Our video of the week, borrowed, if you will, from the Visalia Rawhide when they had their drone show last week. I have not seen the entire video yet, but there's one sequence where, in fact, it's the still frame of the video where you see a batter hitting a ball. I wonder if it actually shows the swing of the bat
I'll bet.
and the ball coming off the bat. Again, what they're able to do is just incredible.
That's the design of those. I'm sure that's what it is, and I'm ready for that. That's going to be very cool.
Never seen one myself, but again, just seen some video. So I do this every once in a while because, well, I like to. Pop quiz for you. So again, July 2nd today, if you forgot.
You're hijacking me back to school. Yeah. Nice.
It's I Forgot Day. So I did a little digging, and like I like to do on the air every morning is ask a little question there.
Does that allow me to answer with that answer to all of the questions?
No.
Okay.
Well, quite possibly.
Wondering.
If you want to fill in option D, all or none of the above.
I don't know.
So this is from an article from apartmenttherapy.com. And they have, by the survey that they did earlier this year, actually, so this is fairly recent, things that we misplace. I forgot where I placed them. So there are 5 items on the list.
This is for you, honey.
What do you think, your household, what do you misplace more often than anything else?
Me personally, I'm not a big misplacer, I'm pleased to say. But when it is, it's my phone, and it's generally in one of 2 places. It's either right in the dead center console of my phone. Yes, please break a window and steal it. Or somewhere just random as heck inside the house. Thank God for Find My iPhone.
Came in at number 2 on the list.
Really?
33% of us.
Well, I know what number 1 is.
Will misplace our phone at least once a week. So that's the criteria for this. At least once a week, what do you misplace?
Yeah.
You say, I forgot where I put blank. 33% of us say phone.
I bet I can guess number 1. I'm going to guess that number 1 is my wife's favorite. Doesn't misplace these more often than about 2 times a day, and that would be keys.
Keys came in at number 3.
Shut up.
28%. Again, once a week we'll forget our keys. The nice thing is, as you said, with the phone, you can do the Find My.
Yeah.
With
Ding.
keys, they have AirTags now with Apple, so you can buy the little $20 AirTag, put it on whatever you like.
And your watch can bang all of that, right?
Correct. Yeah, I actually have. Do I have it? Yeah. I bought this wallet a while back that has a little hole, as you're watching on YouTube, if you are, for an AirTag. and for the longest time, I've had this wallet for 6-8 months now. And granted, it's only $20, but it's $20 we didn't need for me to spend on this. So for Father's Day this year, the kids and my wife got me an AirTag for my AirTag wallet. So now if I ever lose it somewhere, I can track it down.
Is wallet? What did you say wallet was? What's wallet number 1?
It's an AirTag wallet. So it has the little hole cut out.
I'm wondering where wallet placed on your list.
Wallet placed at wallet or purse was out of the top 5 at number 6 actually.
God, then I have no clue. Well, Yeah, because I would have thought wallet. And I didn't say wallet because wallet used to be a problem for me. And as people on our YouTube can see, I have had my wallet chained to my belt now for the last 5 years because that was my number one for a long time. Not anymore. So what could number one be?
All right, so number one, we'll back up. I'll start with number 5.
Cool.
Shoes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm so guilty of that. When I get home, I'll knock my shoes off because I love being barefoot. So I'll take the shoes off, take the socks off, and depending on how long and hard the day was, the shoes will get kicked somewhere in my frustration with the day, and then they'll be forgotten. And then sometimes I will find one of the two.
Where are my blah, blah, blah boots?
Or I can't find any of them. So yeah, shoes at 5. Glasses at 4. That's something you can't put an AirTag on.
Yeah,
and they don't have them that small yet. So your glasses at 4. Number 3, car keys or house keys.
Right.
Number 2, the phone. Number 1, and especially with kids, this one happens all the time. The TV remote.
There you go. Yeah, we do misplace our remotes, but they don't go long because they're always in the 3 same places. They're either jammed under the armrests of my chair because they can slide right under there, and that's where they're at. And you can tell because someone will sit in the chair and the channel will change. Found it! I can't even see it, but I found it.
But wants to watch something else.
Yes, okay. Apparently we're watching that now. Or under a chair or something like that. But I forgot about those.
Yeah, if you have
we have a caddy that we don't even use.
Use that for your drinks and whatnot.
It just sits up there.
Your wallet ends up in there, and you're like,
we're
"Where's
so
my wallet?"
organized, and we never use it.
It's in the remote caddy. What's fun for us is we rarely even use the remotes anymore because we've got a smart TV, and if you've got an iPhone, you can control your TV with your iPhone. So we just pull out the phone, change the channel. You could turn it on, turn it off. So.
Yep, I can do that with my TV now. I got so tired of looking for the remotes. Was like, got one.
And what's even fun is I not try this in a while. I can't remember if it works or not. I think I can even turn on or off the TV from home while the kids are from work while the kids are home. So if you know what? I think they've had enough TV time. Boop.
Oh,
I can turn off the TV while I'm here at the station.
Then you come home and find out that a fight started because they blamed each other for turning it off and they couldn't resolve it. That's crazy. Yep, those are the top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on. I lose quite a few of those. All right, before I get into this, what I'm holding, I would like to tip my hat to Lee Mosconi and the incredible coaches that put together Tulare County Special Olympics crew that just traveled up to Santa Clara, and it was the finals for Special Olympics. Michael, it was one of the most inspiring things you could ever go to. Each of the groups, as you know, the Special Olympics locally, it's just every high school, every school, every program, and they go, and then they at the local level. It used to be all in Tulare. Now it's Tulare has one, Porterville has one.
Okay.
They all have one, and then anyone that has participated in their local Special Olympics is eligible to sign up to go to the finals. It used to be at UC Davis. It's now at UC Santa Clara.
Okay.
And it is outstanding. When it begins, there are things like dozens of multiple police fire vehicles all lit up, sirens on. It's just,
wow.
I mean, they welcome these kids on such a big level. There's entertainment that you wouldn't believe that's there to welcome these kids high. And they're all in there. And then it's a bunch of the different sports. There's swimming, a lot of track and field, bocce.
Really?
Golf, and it's amazing how they're up there having a great time. And my son is a track and fielder, and so they jump on a bus at the Wyndham and roll on up to wherever it is. And I drove up on Saturday. I now have been on the Pacheco Pass. And
you had never been on the pass?
No need. I've never needed to been up there before.
You would have loved it when it was one lane in either direction. My dad told horror stories when he first moved here because he did sales for greenhouses.
Oh, so you're right. It was a deuce.
He traveled all up and down northern and central California and did a lot of things in the valley. selling the greenhouses here. So every time he would tell horror stories of going over the pass and either getting stuck behind a semi because you couldn't pass, or people passing with double yellows left and right and just white knuckling it over that pass because you either thought you were going to be hit or see a 15-car pileup.
Yep, San Marcos Pass is like that out on the coast. I mean, it's windy and up and down, and you're not sure if you're going to fly off the road because you're going too fast because you haven't driven it before. And it's just part of it. I found I went a different route than their bus. Their bus went up the 190, went up the 99. And went across the 152.
Oh, that way. Okay, yeah.
I went backward. I went the one that made sense in my head. Plus, I wanted to go by this restaurant. I went out 198, and right there at the
5,
and right there is where one of my favorite restaurants in the world is, and I can't think of the name
Harris
of it.
Ranch.
Yes.
And I was going to say that's the only one that's out there that is worth talking about.
Yeah, that and a Chevron station. And then
really?
Yeah. And then straight up the 5 for a long way till you hit the 152. They both converge there, and then it's the only way up.
And then take the pass from there. Yeah, it's much easier to negotiate now than it was.
But these coaches, man, I'll tell you what, they're there for the whole day. And there's really not a lot of spectators because they're all the heck way up in Santa Clara. Some of the parents, like me, we drove up, and some of them were there, but it's just about these guys and gals, and they're just so psyched to be there. And they're all pretty good at the sports they're in to get to the finals, and you'd be amazed. I mean, there's one kid, Quavon, on the track team. He can outrun all of the regular students out there. And we see some of the level of talent. I mean, it goes both ways, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
Some of the it would just blow your mind. But I mean, these coaches were great. They trekked up there. They got it done. They had a dance on the Santa Clara football field. I think it was Saturday night. Big music and dancing, and then came home. And just wanted to tip my hat to Lee Mosconi and all of the coaches, female and male, that went up and made this just nothing but incredibly memorable for all the athletes.
For anyone that wants to check out some of the highlights, is there video available somewhere that you're aware of?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, it's not unless you were there and took it.
Gotcha. Okay.
I've got loads. Would you like some? But in any event, you can imagine it's just the best of the best of the best. And I wanted to tip my hat to those guys. All right. The idea of this podcast, obviously, is to get to know Mike and I just a little bit better, and so I'm going to go down my third instantiation of this or that, only some funky ones. I'm going to do.
Is this your way of getting at me for the whole pop quiz earlier?
No,
because these are
fun.
You've seen these, and we've agreed a lot of times we don't talk about what we talk about ahead of time, so that it's true, raw emotion, feeling, whatever comes out as we first talk about it. That's what comes out. So we'll see.
So it makes me happy when I see your damn it face sometimes. Because
I get enough out of you, so I guess turnabout is fair play.
So these are funny ones, funny or weird this or that questions. Okay. Would you rather be able to fly or breathe underwater?
Fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Granted, most of the earth is water, but there's not a whole heck of a lot around here, and I've impressed my kids with our pool how long I can actually hold my breath underwater. I've gotten to the point now I can start off at the shallow end, swim under the water to the deep end, and back again to the shallow end, and hold my breath the entire time. My daughter's like, "I thought you were going to die."
No, but I was moving. No, son, I was moving. It's okay.
There's a little trick with that, actually. It's called, I forget what the term is. I think it's called packing your lungs, where you and then you go. So you try to take as many breaths in as you can, and you can hold your breath for 2 minutes if you do it that way.
Well, yeah, because you're not. I mean, it's a misnomer. You're not packing your lungs, but you've taken so many deep breaths. You're about so dizzy you're going to pass out. You've got so much oxygen in your lungs right now, and your bloodstream. You could go to the moon,
and you slowly ease it out as you go to the point when you're ready to take a breath. It's literally not to exhale air. Like, you can do that under the water, but you need that breath at that point. So
that's a neat trick.
Yes, I'd say flying because I can do my fair share of holding my breath at this point.
And I was always that nerd kid that dreamed of like having a jetpack. How cool would that be? I want to fly.
Have you seen the ones? I think Tim McGraw was the first person I saw, celebrity, that had these. The ones that are over water.
Yes.
where it's, I forget how it's all contracted, but it's you see the jet of water propelling them, and then if you get good enough at it, you can actually negotiate your way around a pretty big sized body of water.
I would try that. Try it in a minute.
I want to see that at Kaweah Lake this year.
All right.
See someone pull that off.
Would you rather have a bad haircut
Wait a second.
or bad hair dye? And I admit I do that. So
I did for a while, and I forget why I did, and I don't now. A friend of mine actually got on me, who I met up with again recently, who we worked together at the first radio station I ever worked at, and posted a picture of the two of us on his Facebook page. One of his friends commented, because he said, I look so much older next to my friend. He's like, well, he probably dyes his hair. I'm like, for the record, no, I don't. Zoom in close. You'll see a couple of the grays. In fact, if you're watching on YouTube, zoom in close. You'll see a couple of the grays. So I'm so not vain about haircuts, as you can probably tell also on YouTube right now.
yeah.
I guess of those two, probably the haircut, only because my wife will tell me every once in a while, hey, you know what? It's time. Then I know it's past time.
Well, it's dumb at my house because I go to Supercuts. I have a couple of the Supercuts here locally next to the radio station over there at Mary's Vineyard and the one in Tulare. I like them both. I know girls in both of them that give me good haircuts. And I bought Sean and I get I think it's $19.95 a month. And you can go in as often as you want. Do I? No. I go in looking like I just got out of prison and haven't had a haircut in 2 months because I haven't. And I'm like, my wife is like, well, why do you pay? And I tell her,
for it already.
Well, because it's $20 a haircut anyway. And so I just need to the point of this discussion is I just need to get my butt in more. I should do it every 2 weeks. Okay. Would you rather travel 50 years into the past or 50 years to the future?
I would, oh boy, that's a good one. I would say the future. And I say that because if I think the past, I will see those who are no longer with us. We just recently passed the 3-year anniversary of my dad passing. And that was a bit of a difficult day, as you can imagine. Looking back at seeing Facebook posts and what I posted then and pictures since. So to have that time with them would be a little painful, I think. Whereas there's the curiosity in, is high-speed rail finally going to be working 50 years from now?
Yeah.
Will Disneyland have that third theme park they've been talking about 50 years from now? I won't see that for myself in real life, but just to see a little glimpse into the future, what is going to be the status of the world we live in at that point?
And we're only going to get. I mean, I am past middle age at this point. I'm only going to be around for probably another 20 or so years, 30 years, and it would be nice to see 100 years in the future. Is it going to be a horrible mess? It's kind of that way now. It's
going to be so much better, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Think optimistically.
Okay, I'm thinking Tomorrowland and Disneyland right now, which, by the way, is now Yesterdayland. But anyway, they
60s land.
They had the right idea. They had the right positive idea.
Yeah, we've seen the past already, 50 years at least, because we're both 50 plus. So we have some recollection of what that was. We have no idea what 50 years from now will look like. AI will run everything, I'm sure.
That's a little nerve-wracking. Because of the famous words, the system has become aware. That makes me nervous. Anyway, would you rather be, and I didn't realize how popular these stupid shows are. They really are. Would you rather be on 90 Day Fiancé or Love is Blind?
I know so little about both. Just a cursory.
It defies everything you've learned about relationship for the past 25 years. They both do, because you're expected in 90 days to find her. And Love is Blind. It's supposed to, isn't that the one where they
literally are blindfolded?
They don't see each other. They're in different rooms. And by the time they meet each other, it's like, oh, I can't stand the way you look, and I thought I loved you.
Well, okay, I need to start off answering this by saying, if I was single, in case my wife listens to this podcast, which she does. So if we had never met
Seska.
and I was still single at this point in my life, I would probably go for The Love Is Blind, because as far as I know with that one, there's no pressure / obligation to then
nail
drop
it
to
down,
one
if
knee.
you will.
Whereas with the 90 Day Fiancé, I think there's a little bit more pressure with that,
Yeah.
from what I recall.
Well, based on the name.
Yeah. So at the end of it, it's almost like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. They expect a proposal at the end of it all, whether they say yes or not.
Yeah, it's like 3 months, go. That's not how relationship
It's
works.
usually how long the relationship lasts after the fact.
90 seconds. All right, let's serious it up a little bit, sort
All right.
of. Would you rather have the power to be invisible or the power to read minds?
Read minds could be a curse.
I
'Cause
think
then
so
you
too.
really know what people think about you. I don't know. As much as I say I want to know those things, do I really want to? I would say be invisible, because then you could still find out what people say about you when they think you're out of the room because you're really not, or you could just walk away. If you read minds, you're kind of subject to just picking that up all the time.
Plus, I don't think most people have the moral fortitude to not use that to their financial advantage to change things that they shouldn't.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, I'm going to go score heavily in the in the stock market now or whatever, because you have inside information you shouldn't have,
Yeah, very good point.
or stuff like that. I don't know. Always feel safe and secure, or always feel fulfilled and satisfied? Boy, those are the differences between me and my wife right there.
Oh, jeez.
That's literally discussing me and my wife right there. For a long time, I thought she got married just to feel safe and secure.
Okay, how do you answer that one as I ponder a little bit?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm 6 feet tall and in decent shape. I feel safe most of the time. I fulfilled and satisfied is key.
Yeah, they're so close, but they're so different as well. Yeah, I would also say fulfilled and satisfied.
Yeah.
And you can talk spiritually, you can talk financially. I mean, if you run the gambit, yeah, if you have that. For whatever reason, I don't have a lot of fear in situations where maybe I should, thinking that we're all going to heaven at some point.
Yep.
We're all going to be passing off this mortal coil. So whether my time is 5 minutes from now or 50 years from now, wouldn't that be a blessing? It's gonna, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So while I'm living life, I think feeling a little bit more fulfilled. Yeah, I think that would work for me.
Well, here's a good one. Would you rather have $100,000 to spend on yourself or have $1 million you can only spend on others? Because in my mind, there's thrills to both. I know.
That's tough.
I know. And I don't think you're a bad person if you pick one or the other. I really don't.
I would say $1 million to spend on others, because some of the 100,000 would be going towards the kids' college funds and things of that nature anyway, because that's what matters to me, to make sure that if it's going to take, if my son getting great grades is this close to be getting into Berkeley or Stanford, and that's where he really wants to go, but he's just not quite Berkeley or Stanford material, and we have to pay for that, as opposed to you missed out on a scholarship by that much. If I had the $1 million to say, Anthony, Alessandro, you're going to whatever college you want to go to, because, again, that's still spending it on others. And then, again, they become rich and famous, and they get to move into their mansion with them.
Here are some debatable ones.
All right.
True or false? All families should have pets.
No.
Yeah, I agree.
No, it's like saying all people should have guns. There are many, many, many people, and I think I'm probably one of them, that should not have a gun. There are those that are just not responsible enough to be a pet owner.
And and that goes for having kids too. But let's not open
Yes.
up that whole can of worms, shall we?
That'll be next week's podcast.
They'll hate us immediately. Soccer is a better sport than American football.
No.
Amen.
No. I
said to Americans, just to be clear.
Is it there's some cup tournament going on right now that the USA just got booted out from Uruguay. And I know that, and that's almost literally all I know about it because of all the prep that I do every morning. I saw that as one of the banner headlines is that USA bounced out of Copa Cup or something. I couldn't even tell you. I've watched it. I get more enjoyment watching other people in the stands enjoying it than actually watching the action myself.
Yeah, they're wild.
It's like, oh, they were so close to actually scoring. And I haven't seen a single goal in an hour and a half.
The Xbox is better than the PlayStation.
See, I'm the last person to ask on this because we're a Switch family.
Oh, man.
So
those are fun.
Yeah, and we got that years ago because there were a lot more family things to play with it and a lot more interactive stuff. And we had the Wii Fit with the board, and you could snowboard down the mountain by adjusting your weight on the board. And you play that for an hour or so, you feel a little sore in areas like, I got a workout from playing a video game.
We still have the Wii, and I am bloody good at Wii tennis. Let me tell you right now. Real tennis, not so much.
If that had made the list, I would say definitely that one, but that wasn't one of your options. I'll say the PlayStation only because I've had a PlayStation previously.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, that's very true. All right. People shouldn't have to go to work or school on their birthdays.
No, they shouldn't. Although my birthday, as does yours, falls on Thanksgiving every once in a while, so I get to say that I get the day off for that day.
I get one incredible meal every 4 years. I just love it. Well, that's pretty much... Oh, this is a stupid one. Which is the worst word, moist or phlegm? They're both pretty gross.
Moist, I know that's the one that always comes up whenever there's like a survey of the word that makes you squirm the most. So I guess I would go with moist. I understand why that sets some people off because of where their mind is taking them with what moist happens to me.
Stop it.
But yeah, so I would say of those two, you say either one of those around my daughter and she'll lose it. She will not.
That's funny.
Poop is another one around her. You can't say poop. You can't say fart. Any bodily function, don't say it around my daughter, otherwise she will run kicking and screaming out of the room.
Dinner's over as far as she's concerned right about then. Here's one, and based on the fact that I say, what? A lot more than I used to. Is it better to watch movies with subtitles or without them?
Don't even get me started on subtitles. I refuse, unless it's a foreign language film, to watch any movie with the subtitles on. My daughter cannot watch a movie without subtitles. And I think it's a generational thing. I want the volume turned up because I want to feel like especially if it's a movie, that I'm there experiencing it.
Theater experience.
Yeah, we've got the two side speakers. We've got a subwoofer. We've got some bells and whistles, a decent-sized TV that's mounted kind of high on our fireplace, so it feels like a theater.
Yeah.
I don't want to get lost in subtitles and then I'm missing some of the action on the screen.
I watch TV at night to go to sleep. I know a lot of people don't, but I do, and I have to have it kind of quiet because it'll resonate right through the wall, which right behind the living room is our bedroom.
Gotcha.
And I don't want to wake anybody up if I'm still up and, I'm watching Yellowstone or whatever I'm binging, and I got about 3 of those words. Subtitles a half a second behind. All right, I got it now.
So you opt for the subtitles then?
They're on all the time. My daughter likes them too. Although they're frustrating for the news because they get in the way of the key graphics that come up, and you're like, I don't know what the news is now. Yeah. I have to wait till the subtitle comes because it just blotted out the actual headline that came up. But and this one's dumb. Dogs are better than cats. No, they're not.
Yes,
I'm a dog person, but I don't.
Yes, they are though.
But
it's a fact. It's a fact. It is. That's why when we have Pesto's puppies, it's not Pesto's kittens.